Hey kids, time for reflection.
And mirrors.
So you need to take a new notebook piece of paper and we need to really focus on how the quality of your notes and what they look like. So you're going to put a title on top. It's 4-2, like chapter 4, section 2 if you're following along in your book. And then label it reflection and mirrors and then put the date on top.
And make sure you put it in your table of contents as well.
If you're in her class.
If you're in my class,
We don't
sorry.
do that.
Yeah.
Sorry. And then you need to get your straight edge, also known as a ruler, and then make a chart like this. You're going to want to skip about three lines each. If you write super big, you want 4 lines.
And if you need to flip your notebook so it's long ways, you can.
Okay, so you might want to pause the video and make this chart. We're going to move on. Okay, so we're going to start off first, because that's a good place to start, with regular reflection. Now these two are the easiest. Regular and diffuse are the easiest to understand. It just gets worse from here, sorry to tell you. This is a hard section, which is why we have so many learning opportunities for you in this section. So just bear with us and make sure you're like opening your mind to absorb all you're about to hear. So regular reflection, here's your official definition.
Okay, so regular reflection is basically what you guys are probably the most used to. Okay, it's when light rays hit a smooth surface and they're all reflected back at the same angle. So water is an example of this, where you can kind of see yourself in water that's not rippling. If you look into like the bathroom mirror, this is an example of that. So when the image that you're seeing is very clear.
Okay, so diffuse reflection is basically everything else in the world. So the light rays hit it, and the light rays come down parallel. That means they're coming from the same light source. But when they hit the object, they bounce in different directions. So this is like rough waters, for example. So there is no, you can't see the kayaker. Here's a kayaker in this picture. There's no kayaker down there. Or if you look at your folder, if you look at your pen, you cannot see your image or the image of the room in the pen because the light rays are scattering in all different directions.
And if you think about it, if you have a bucket of bouncy balls and you were to dump the bucket out and all the bouncy balls hit the floor at the same time, they would all bounce off in different directions.
Ooh, I like that analogy. She's good.
I do what I can for you.
Okay, so here is an example of regular and diffuse reflection. Do you know which one's which?
I do.
Okay.
Do you?
Want to go with it?
Yeah. So the picture in the top left corner is regular reflection. So you could see the boat very clearly there in the reflection of the water. It's a nice smooth surface.
Look at the sky, it's gorgeous.
Yeah, I don't think that's in St. Louis. So, and then the picture in the bottom right-hand corner, the yellow and red boat, you can see the yellow and red in the water, but you can't clearly make out the shape of the boat. It is nothing pretty about that.
Yeah, that's been diffused completely. Okay, next 3. I'm going to show you the 3 words because you have them there. So these are talking about the mirrors themselves. Plane mirror is probably one you're most familiar with. And this word plane is not the airplane because that's spelled differently. This is plane as in like a plane, like a flat layer, a level, an area. So a plane mirror means it's just a flat sheet of glass and it has like a silver coating on one side. So you have glass here and then you have silver on the back side. Well, they used to use silver, but then that tarnished, but now they use some other sort of like reflective metal. So your bathroom mirror would be an example of a plane mirror. It's a flat mirror and there's a pretty picture. Concave.
Okay, so the easiest way to remember concave is if you think of cave in, okay? So it curves inside like a bowl, all right? Which changes the way in which the light rays hit it. So there's a nice little picture there for you. So instead of the light rays all bouncing off the flat mirror and going in one direction, a concave mirror changes the way in which the light rays hit the surface and changes then also what you see.
It really much distorts the image. And we're going to have you play with concave mirrors I think it's the next activity after these notes. So you'll get to a better image. But if you think about when you look at the cereal spoon after you eat your Lucky Charms, look at your spoon next time. And look at your image as you're looking at the part where your food goes in. See if you can see the differences in your image, how it's a little distorted. And finally, the opposite of concave, you turn that spoon over and you look at the bump, that's convex. So it's the mirror with the surface that curves outwards.
Yeah. So the biggest ones for this is if you see those big mirrors on school buses that they have.
Or in the library.
Or in the library, yeah, that kind of almost help you kind of sometimes see around corners. That is a convex mirror. So once again, it completely changes the image that you would have seen in a plane mirror into a different type of image. So it causes the light rays to reflect off again at different angles.
Right. And I think that convex and concave mirrors are pretty common in those like creepy carnival thingies.
Yeah.
What are they called?
The
house of mirrors.
Yes.
But it makes your body look all like tall or short and fat. They're really playing with light rays there. That's all they're doing. Okay, next up, here's some concave mirror craziness. I actually want you to pause the video and draw these images in your notebook underneath your table. You'll probably need to turn the page and draw these images. So you can kind of see where the object is. Object means that's the real life thing. So you have two objects, they're both a plant. And then what you see, if you're to look into that mirror, you'll see for this concave mirror, you'll see an upside down image. That's what you're seeing. And here you'll see an upright image. We'll give those names in a minute, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, my things aren't hidden. Well, don't you go ahead, okay? I'm sorry those aren't hidden for you. So let's pretend that the bottom two are hidden, and let's just focus on the word image itself.
Okay, so image is pretty cut and dry. It is a copy of whatever it is you're looking at. So if you are looking at yourself in the mirror, seeing yourself in the mirror is an image. Okay, so the penguins there in the picture can see themselves in the water. But there's two types of images that we need to be familiar with, and you really need to pay attention to these because
I hate the words.
You're gonna get confused on the words because they don't mean what you're used to them meaning. So pay attention to these.
I hate when science words don't make sense. So, okay, the virtual image. The virtual image is upright. It's a virtual reality you. So if you ever had Sims, you had like a virtual reality person and they stand upright. This is a upright image. It's the same size as you, and it's the same direction. So if you look at the monkey look in the mirror, he's looking at an upright monkey who's the same size. When you go to the bathroom, look in the mirror, your image in the mirror isn't bigger, isn't smaller, it's the same, and it's upright. Now here's the one that I hate.
Okay, so the real image is actually an upside down image, and it has to do with how the light rays hit the surface and reflect, okay? So if you can see in the wine glass there, the clouds are towards the stem of the wine glass instead of towards the top. In science, this is what we call a real image because it's actually what you should be seeing.
And I like to say this with my students, it's really messed up. So when you think virtual, think of virtual reality. When you think of real, automatically in your head say it's really messed up. And if it's really messed up, they put it upside down. And you got to look at the focal point, and if it crosses, if the light rays crosses, the whole image crosses. It's messed up, I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Okay, so you really need to go back and look at these terms again and understand them. These are not something you get like this. It really is something you need to like grapple with and really memorize and study. Okay, you have an activity next on your chart. Take some time and make sure you understand what you're doing with the spoons. And do we have bowls in that one? No, just mirrors and spoons. Make sure you understand exactly what you're doing. If you have any questions, come seek us because we want you to make sure you understand this because this is a huge power standard. Okay? Have a great rest of your day.
Bye.